In this episode of Falmouth in Focus, we'll check in with a Cape Cod native as he bicycles across the USA to raise awareness of the power and potential of living sober. We'll stop by a local farm that has formed a collaboration with the 300 Committee and take a look at a new partnership that is benefiting the Falmouth Public Schools. All this and much more on this edition of Falmouth in Focus.
Hello and welcome to Falmouth in Focus, FCTV's current affairs program. I'm your host, Michael Kasparian. Autumn is here, and as the Falmouth beaches are emptying and our students are returning to the new version of schooling, the presence of the COVID-19 virus continues to affect all of our work and leisure activities. The recent increase in diagnosed cases in some parts of the Commonwealth is a sobering reminder that we all need to follow the guidelines for social distancing and good sanitary habits that we are reminded of on a daily basis. Falmouth's health agent, Scott McGann, continues to stay on top of the latest local and state information and regulations, and his weekly briefing each Friday is a good way to stay informed. Tune in to FCTV Government Channel 15, our Facebook page, and fctv.org, which also includes links to local and state safety information. On September 1st, Cape Cod native Connor O'Reilly set off to ride his bike across the country to raise awareness about the crucial role that mindfulness and exercise can play in recovery from substance abuse. Along the way, he'll be raising funds for WellStrong, a fitness and wellness community in Falmouth that provides a safe, supportive community for those in recovery. We visited with WellStrong's Assistant Executive Director to learn more.
Back in August, we got contacted by a man in recovery named Connor O'Reilly, and he told us that he was going to ride across America and he wanted to raise money for a nonprofit. Well, he did it. He thought that what we do here in his ride across America, which in his mind, his goal was to spread awareness about recovery and fitness and wellness and what it really can do to change your life. And that's how we came together. He ended up leaving from this location right here at WellStrong on September 1st. His goal is by November 1st to reach Santa Monica, California. So from Falmouth, Mass to Santa Monica, California in 2 months. He's pretty much right on track. There's been a few blips here and there, but his goal and our goal together that we came up with was to raise about $30,000 for WellStrong. That money also includes funding, his ride. He has many expenses along the way. Some unexpected, some expected. It's been really actually heartwarming to see the response. He's only halfway through his ride at this point, and we're doing awesome with fundraising. He is a strong believer in what we are providing here, and decided that WellStrong was going to be the nonprofit that he's going to ride for.
So I'm right now I'm in Springfield, Missouri, and I just passed over just about halfway. The halfway point of my ride. I've had a lot of really amazing experiences on this trip, and then I've had a lot of very challenging experiences on this trip as well. I found so many parallels to this trip and this way of traveling and this way of going into the unknown by bicycle to the recovery process, or at least mine. And it's been really, really interesting and really fun, at least in hindsight, to watch this process unfold and find those similarities to recovery. I've grown so much within myself. My goal is to be able to inspire other people to do what they want and find success and happiness in that. I had to kind of come into this with, full faith that 100%, no matter what, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to accept all the challenges that it comes my way and this and that. And so I would just say, don't let anyone else tell you it can't be done, and take it bit by bit. It's really been amazing experience so far, and just over halfway through.
To learn more about Connor's ride, check out wellstrong.org. We'll be tracking Connor's progress in our next episode. Thanks to Andrew Richards for that story. It's time now for 3 things from Town Hall, FCTV's condensed version of the takeaways from recent municipal meetings. Selections are chosen based on community impact.
Health agent Scott McGann joined the Select Board Monday night to discuss COVID-19 related issues. Mr. McGann reported to the board about the upcoming flu shot clinic at the Gus Canty Center on October 26th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Town Manager Suso also discussed the status of beach parking, noting that the barriers in the parking lots are being removed to increase capacity for resident beachgoers.
Madam Chair, members of the board, I wanted to advise that I've asked Public Works Director Peter McConerty to begin to remove the remaining barriers in the municipal beach parking lots during this month of October, so that we can expand the capacity fundamentally for residents who frequently like to come to the beach, and during this off season we want to accommodate them as much as possible. We know that they were significantly inconvenienced during the past season, given the limitations due to the COVID pandemic.
Select Board Chair Megan English Braga reported to the board that some board members and staff attended a presentation at the Falmouth Police Station regarding the proposed machine gun range at Joint Base Cape Cod. Ms. Braga pointed out that there have been some communication issues surrounding the proposed plan, and then went on to give a brief overview of the proposal to the board.
There are quite a few pieces in place for ongoing assessment of the impact of the project if it goes forward or as it goes forward, both looking at water, the impact to water and soil, wildlife, as well as assessment of noise. The firearms that proposed will only use copper bullets, and all of those copper bullets will be retrieved. Excuse me, I'm sorry. As opposed to the lead bullets that were used in the past that people have some concern about in terms of percolating through the soil into water.
The board also discussed some issues related to the upcoming fall town meeting, planned to be held at the high school field house. Town Manager Suso reported the unusually short warrant of only 9 articles for this town meeting, and that the air filtration system in the field house has been significantly upgraded. The board went on to discuss some particular points of concern during the last town meeting held at the field house they would like corrected, such as mask usage, microphone carriers, and other sound-related issues.
And also to note that, of course, the April town meeting had well over 40 articles, 49 articles to be accurate. And thankfully, we only have nine articles, which are to be determined on Monday, November 16th. So thankfully, at the request of the select board and as responded by a number of parties, we only have 1 petition article and only 9 total to complete. So we're gratified for that. And your announcement that it would be at the field house could be altered if this board so chooses.
Thank you. And I'm just going to read this before it gets lost in the shuffle. Comment from Peter Clark that sound is a big issue in the field house, which we have talked about, and that they used to rent a system for graduation. Sam and Doug Brown, please. Go ahead, Sam.
Question. I certainly sympathize with the health risk issues. A lot of people certainly are concerned about that, but can the town not provide the N95 or KN95 masks that really protect you from other people as well as other people from you, and actually provide them to town meeting members to help enhance the safety of an indoor event like this?
To see the meetings in their entirety, check out Government Channel 15 schedule at fctv.org. It's now time for our calendar segment. Beginning on October 9th, Belonging to Each Other will be holding a silent auction to benefit the work they do to assist the homeless in Falmouth. You can bid on over 50 fantastic items through October 17th by going to their website, bteofalmouth.com. On October 15th and October 27th, the Marine Masonic Lodge is sponsoring 2 blood drives to benefit Cape Cod Healthcare. Both drives will be held at the John Wesley United Methodist Church at 270 Gifford Street from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day. To make an appointment, visit capecodhealth.org. And on Friday, October 30th, Cotuit Center for the Arts is having a zombie promenade. From 6:30 to 8:30 p.m., drive past the theater and around the house and back to see what creepy, undead characters you encounter. Finally, don't forget to join us on Thursday, October 22nd, for the next virtual installment of our open mic series, Poetic License. Sign up for another night of poetry and prose, stories and songs, with entertainment provided by you and your friends and neighbors. Pre-register by Wednesday, October 21st to receive your Zoom login information. Check out fctv.org for more information. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll visit a Falmouth business to see how they are managing during the COVID-19 restrictions. Stay with us.
People for Cats is asking for your help to find the owner of this lost senior cat. He was found walking in the road on Happy Hollow Road in the Jenkins Pond area in East Falmouth. He's quite old, totally blind, and in rough shape. The kind person who found him took him home, fed him for several days, and then brought him to the shelter. He's microchipped, but the information is out of date. If this is your cat or you know where he belongs, please call Jean at 617-645-4019 as soon as possible. Thank you.
Welcome back. Falmouth Community Television is committed to helping support our local businesses as they transition during the changing phases of reopening during the coronavirus pandemic. FCTV stopped by Carpet Barn, Carpet One Floor and Home on Main Street in Falmouth to learn about the challenges they've been facing.
Hi, I'm Linda Alferez Martino, co-owner of Carpet Barn, Carpet One Floor and Home. We're celebrating 50 years providing home interior fashion for everyone, commercially, residentially. We do not only carpeting, I know our name says carpet, but we do window treatments, we do cabinets, we do tile flooring, we do LVT, wood flooring, pretty much anything you'd want for the interior of your home, we can provide it for you. March, COVID came about us, the pandemic, and we had to close all 3 retail stores. We did not close 100%, however. Our doors were locked. We are servicing the essential community, contractors, housing facilities, assisted living facilities. So we were able to stay open and continue to do business. However, we did have to lay off about 80% of our employees. As phase 2 came along, the phones were definitely ringing off the wall. So business was out there. We were advising people to go digital and go to our website. So at that point, we were still not allowing any retail customers in the store, but we were still trying to service them. We did make a decision to close one of our 3 locations. The Mashpee location was a big overhead, and our lease was up in May. So we made the decision not to re-sign. We had to be smart and downsize to the 2 locations, Hyannis and Falmouth. Thank goodness, I will say, for the PPP and the CARE Act, because the first few months of the pandemic were very challenging for us. We probably may not have survived. I am happy to say, though, July and August, we are back up to speed. Everyone entering the store must sanitize and must sign in before they enter the store. We're doing one-on-ones, trying to avoid more than 10 people in the store at a time to keep everyone safe. The whole thing with the pandemic and people spending more time at home, I think has actually helped our business in some respects, because people are home looking at things saying, oh, they need to replace this, they need to replace that. So I think in some respects it's generated interest for people to spend more money and invest in their home because they're spending more time home. We are a family-owned business, 50 plus years living here. We love Falmouth. Falmouth is a great home. We hope to be here serving the Falmouth community and Cape Cod for another 50 years.
Stay tuned to FCTV and Falmouth in Focus in the months ahead for more stories about Falmouth's businesses and how they are adapting to the ever-changing restrictions due to COVID-19. Thanks to Andrew Richards for that story. At its August 24th meeting, the Falmouth Select Board approved a conservation restriction on the 10.45-acre Pariah Dog Farm on Trotting Park Road. The 300 Committee expects to close on the conservation restriction this fall, which will permanently protect the property for conservation and working farmland.
This is my property. I purchased it back in 2012. We started farming it in earnest in 2013. It's a market garden style farm, so we grow everything. Behind me is the mixed greens and the lettuces. This is kind of like the fast turnover field. So radishes, salad turnips, arugula, mizuna, mustard greens, head lettuce, and then further down solanaceous. So that's tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, that type of stuff. And the further down you go, winter squash, pumpkins, and everything gets planted in rotation.
So the 300 Committee Land Trust has been talking with Matt Churchill, the property owner here, for 6 years. I would say the talks really started to pick up in 2015, and all of this was about how we could work together to permanently protect this land. We know that Matt's been farming it, he's been doing a terrific job, he's expanded it, but in the backdrop, we know this is actually developable land. And Matt has no intention of developing this, but the purpose of a conservation restriction is to put a permanent legal restriction on the land to extinguish development rights, to make sure that it's always available for farming, regardless of who the owner is. So we're talking in perpetuity. This land will be protected permanently for working farmland because of this conservation restriction. That's the real purpose of it. And it does add 10.45 acres to the overall inventory of open space, but when we select these acreages, we want it to be the highest priority lands for conservation. And that was one of the reasons why we pursued this.
We have a couple of very reliable volunteers who help me out. I couldn't really do it without them. They help me do the really labor-intensive stuff, which is picking.
It's just so amazing to be in this spot, like this big empty, like not empty, but like wide open place. It's like the most peaceful feeling. I help Matt with the farmers market on Thursday, which means I pick on Wednesday evening, and then I am here all day Thursday and at the market with him. And then my mom and I volunteer together on Saturdays. Yeah, I feel like patience and investment are things that are very easily learned here that are not easily learned in other places.
Yeah, so a pariah dog, they're like Aboriginal dogs. So they're these kind of semi-feral animals that live on the outskirts of, human civilization. So she's an American dingo. So that's just our kind of native pariah dog. They're again the Aboriginal dogs that the Native Americans brought over. The dog's name is Bailey.
So with this conservation project, the farm continues to be privately owned. It's owned by Matt Churchill. It's operated as Pariah Dog Farm. The public would certainly be welcome to come here. We encourage them to visit the farm stand, come to events at the farm, but it's privately owned.
Well, from my perspective, it allows me to remain financially viable. Without this conservation restriction, it's going to be pretty difficult for me to continue doing this. And the other thing is it really bothers me to see all of this land in town going to development. It seems that as soon as a parcel of agricultural land larger than an acre is made available, it's bought and developed into the densest possible housing, sometimes exceeding our zoning by tenfold. And by doing this, I prevent that from happening here in perpetuity.
The Pariah Dog Farm will be the 300 Committee Land Trust's 34th conservation restriction. Thanks to Andrew Richards for that story. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll check in with the Falmouth Outdoor Learning Committee. Stay with us.
What is FCTV? Falmouth Community Television is a non-profit community media center that fosters the production and distribution of local information. FCTV provides access to training, technology, and content to encourage community dialogue, awareness, and expression. FCTV provides the community with the opportunity for political, cultural, artistic, spiritual, and individual expression on television. Each year, FCTV members and staff produce hundreds of programs that document Falmouth, political dialogue on local and global issues, live election coverage, our government in action, discoveries from our scientific community, sporting events, concerts, lectures, conversations with Cape Cod newsmakers, holiday celebrations, and more. FCTV operates 3 local cable channels in the town of Falmouth: Public, Education, Government. And all of FCTV's channels are also streamed live on our website at fctv.org. FCTV members have open access to the local public cable channel to express themselves freely, entertain, and enlighten. That means you can make your own television program about any subject that's important to you. It's a place to have your voice heard. FCTV offers its members free training and access to state-of-the-art production equipment for the purpose of producing programs for our local channels. A core curriculum covers the essentials in video production. FCTV also offers skill-enhancing classes in advanced directing, lighting, software and editing techniques, along with workshops focusing on emerging techniques such as podcasting, iPad videography, and animation. Engaging our youth has long been an important goal at FCTV as we build a more media-literate community. We accomplish this by offering a wide range of fun and educational youth workshops, including our weekly Youth Producers Club, school vacation animation classes, and special programs. FCTV is your source for timely communication of important issues. Through our active participation in the local and regional emergency planning committees, FCTV disseminates timely updates through our cable channels, website, and popular social media outlets to help our citizens and visitors prepare, act, and remain informed about weather-related events, power outages, road closings, and other local conditions. We are committed to supporting the creative economy. As part of this commitment, FCTV offers exhibition space to local artists in its community gallery. Each month at the gallery, a different artist or group is offered space to exhibit their work, and an accompanying video is produced which highlights their craft. The gallery also serves as a gathering space for local member organizations to reserve and use for meetings. As community expectations and needs grew, FCTV board and staff looked at how we could expand our resources to better serve our community. This began in earnest in 2014 when, with the help of grants from the Falmouth Road Race, the Falmouth Fund, and individual donors, FCTV acquired its mobile production vehicle, the only one of its kind in Cape Cod. Then, in 2015, FCTV initiated a strategic planning process that led to the planning and creation of a new, larger facility, the Falmouth Community Media Center. This new facility, completed in the spring of 2019, provides Falmouth with a state-of-the-art media center, an essential, modern community resource. This facility includes 2 studios, one with a full working kitchen for production of cooking shows, larger training and production facilities, and rental space allows FCTV to expand its services to include more workforce development, youth initiatives, and offer exciting new venues for member organizations to use for events. By partnering with FCTV, nonprofit organizations and community groups are able to communicate their mission, services, and programs through a variety of distribution platforms. For organizations and businesses that may not have the resources and manpower to produce their own programming, FCTV offers a full range of production services and equipment rentals. Let FCTV help you tell your story. FCTV offers membership to anyone who lives, works, or attends school in the town of Falmouth. Individual, family, and organizational memberships are available for a nominal fee. Stop by and pick up a membership packet, download an application from our website, or give us a call. Join us in our mission to preserve and foster the legacy of open communication, hyperlocal media, transparency in government, lifelong learning, and community collaboration, and take advantage of all FCTV has to offer.
Welcome back. Health experts say one of the best ways to prevent the spread of COVID-19 is to interact with others outside as much as possible. In our Falmouth in Focus member spotlight, Liz Lerner shows us how the Outdoor Learning Committee is partnering with the Falmouth Rotary Club to create outdoor learning spaces at all of Falmouth's schools.
Back to school prep is looking a little different this year in Falmouth. Due to the pandemic, the school year is starting remote with in-person and hybrid options to begin in a few weeks. That prompted local parents to create a working group to help support staff and students and to encourage being outside. It's called the Falmouth Outdoor Learning Committee, and it's led by local parent Amy Leonardi.
The committee consists of parents, volunteers, retirees, teachers and staff, and even kids across the community who really want to get involved. We've had a couple volunteer days so far, both at North Falmouth Elementary as well as Mullen Hall, where we cleaned up the gardens and helped set up log seating. Additionally, we've now been at Falmouth High School, sanding down and weather treating donated picnic tables, as well as putting together whiteboards. Later today, we'll be at East Falmouth Elementary School, where we will be spreading wood chips and tree log seating, as well as placing wooden spindles and finishing sealing those to be used as teacher tables.
Putting new wood chips in to make the outdoor learning area here, the courtyard, look a little fresher and get it ready for the kids who are going to be coming in a couple of weeks to do in-person learning.
Amy Wyman is the liaison on the committee for the East Falmouth Elementary School.
We also have Hamilton Tree donated about 50 plus stumps, with the tree stumps that you see right there, so that we can have outdoor seating. And we will be implementing 3 outdoor learning classrooms in the back of the school today.
Tents are also a big priority. Schools currently have rented tents but would like to purchase tents, geodomes, or greenhouses for the schools to help encourage outdoor learning for years to come.
We know that statistically our children do much better learning outside, even aside from the pandemic. It's better for their motor skills, their mental health, and they just learn better outside. Additionally, with the COVID restrictions, we know that they can get outside and have mask breaks if they're out in the fresh air and they're safely distanced.
The committee is mostly made up of parents, but quite a few organizations and businesses have stepped up to help. Just to name a few, VIPS, Falmouth's Volunteers in Public Schools, is helping to collect donations as a 501c3, and the Rotary Club awarded a large grant, and many of their volunteers help out at the school cleanings.
It's just part of what Falmouth is. We pitch in and work for the good of the community. I think we can be very thankful for the fact that so many people are wearing masks. We've got our infection rate way down to the point where it's reasonable to open up schools and have a significant number of kids have in-house education rather than doing everything remotely. I can tell you as a teacher, engaging kids is probably your biggest challenge, and it's very tough to engage somebody on the other end of the internet connection. So the more we can do to allow students to safely come back to school and engage with teachers, I think the better the quality of education will be.
Thanks to Liz Lerner for that story. Stay tuned to FCTV to remain connected to your local community as we continue to bring you the latest developments and news through our local coverage of the coronavirus phased reopening plan. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, our website, and stay tuned to channels 13, 14, and 15. And FCTV wants to remind you that television can be as easy as hitting record on your smartphone. We'd like to invite all Falmouth residents and visitors to share their slice of life with us. Email us your photos and videos, or upload them to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using the hashtag MyFalmouth or Falmouth in Focus to be featured on the show. Thank you to our most recent contributors. We leave you now with the sights and sounds of the virtual Jazztober celebration in Falmouth. Thank you for watching Falmouth in Focus. We'll see you next time.
There's a song we're gonna be singing when the fever ends, to mourn the dead and lift up the living when the fever ends. When the fever ends, when the fever ends, all my days I've been waiting for when the fever ends. No need to fear our friends and neighbors when the fever